All right. We already know. We already talked about this many times this past week. But there was a dude who worked at a base. A dude who was fan of another dude. That dude's name is Oxide. He's a YouTuber who does like the most, I'm going to say, A-worded gun videos I've ever watched in my entire life. It was captivating. I say that because I started watching a lot of his videos after this story came out. Like literally, it's like, it is so crazy, the level of detail that this dude puts into his YouTube videos, okay? I mean, it is mind-boggling. Anyway, we are pro leakers, right? Yeah, 100%, 100%. This guy works, as far as I understand, he works at a base. He has access to classified intelligence. He's a fan of this guy named Oxide. Oxide has a Discord channel, but that Discord server is not enough for them. A story as old as time itself. They move on to what is known as a splinter Discord. My Discord server has a bunch of splinters as well because people are a bunch of freaks. The Evan thread, I think this was it. Oh, here you go. Okay, this is the one. Yeah. Okay. The post interviews a teenage boy who met OG. The man, his name is, he's known as OG. He works at a military base. He gets into this Oxide Discord server. He's a gun YouTuber. And then they basically create another Splinter Discord, which is like a little bit more, cozy. And in that Splinter Discord server, they're saying a bunch of anti-Semitic shit. They're shooting guns. You know, this Splinter Discord server is called Thug Shaker Central. Now, like I said, it could be like if you have a Thug Shaker Central named Discord server, you could be like a Dio fan, or you could just be an unhinged groiper-ass racist. And this was the unhinged groiper-ass racist type of Discord server, and not like the, oh, I love Bruce, drop him off Discord server, okay? So just understand that. Anyway, a teenage boy on that fucking Discord server is likely to have been the one who took the classified intelligence from that tiny Splinter Discord server and basically leak it to a Minecraft server, which then ended up its way into another Discord server who Wow Mao, a leftist content creator on YouTube who makes shitty low-effort memes, just kidding, he's actually great, into his Discord server, and ultimately it went all over the place. The post went and interviewed a teenage boy who met OG 4 years ago and idolized him. The boy said OG claimed he spent at least some of his day inside a secure facility that prohibited cell phones. He toiled for hours, summarizing the classified info he saw at work for the group. By the way, notice how the Splinter Discord server or the Minecraft server was not when this information was detected. The information, however, was detected when it was in the left-wing Discord server. Just remember that. The guy OG is not a leftist, of course not. He's like some fucking right-wing shithead who works for the military. Wow Mao, on the other hand, the leftist Discord server, weirdly enough, despite the fact that it wasn't necessarily all that big of a Discord server, immediately rang some alarm bells. Why, you think? The Discord server formed around OG echoes a story that's become familiar since 2020. Young men and teenage gamers in lockdown turning increasingly to private chat groups, okay? OG told the groups he toiled for hours writing up the classified documents to share with his companions in the Discord server he controlled. The gathering spot had been a pandemic refuge, particularly for teen gamers locked in houses and cut off from the real-world friends. The members swapped memes, offensive jokes, and idle chit-chat. They watched movies together, joked around, and prayed. Bro, imagine praying with the boys in your fucking Splinter Discord server. It's crazy. But OG also lectured them about world affairs and secretive government operations. He wanted to keep us in the loop, the member said, and seemed to think that his insider knowledge would offer the others protection from the troubled world around them. He's a smart person. He knew what he was doing when he posted these documents. Of course, these weren't accidental leaks of any kind, the member said. The boy in the server with OG, who the post is not naming, shared around 300 photos of classified documents with the post, most of which haven't been published. He argued that the public deserves to know how intelligence agencies spend their tax dollars. The post listened to audio of a man the boy identified as OG and viewed video of him at a shooting range in which he yells a series of racial and anti-Semitic slurs at the camera, then fires several rounds at the target. A small server of about 24 men and boys emerged out of a larger server of fans of Oxide. A YouTuber told the Post earlier today that he is in his 20s and serves in the Army in the Pacific Northwest. OG became the leader and enforced a pecking order. Late last year, OG got upset that his server didn't seem interested in his write-ups of the classified info he saw at work, so he began to post images of documents themselves, printed off several times a week. The boy and another young member of the server insisted that OG wasn't working at any country's behest. OG didn't seem to have dark view of the U.S. government, once insisting on a baseless conspiracy that the government knew about the May 2022 Buffalo shooting in advance. OG told his online companions that the government hid horrible truths from the public. He claimed, according to the members, that the government knew in advance that the white supremacists intended to go to a shooting rampage at Buffalo supermarket. The attack left 10 dead, all of them black, and wounded 3 more. OG said federal law enforcement officials let the killings proceed so they could argue for increased funding, a baseless notion that the member said he believes and considers an example of OG's penetrating insights about the depth of government corruption. If he was a fucking weirdo, dumbass, with no intel whatsoever, he would have said, oh, they wanted to do it so they can fucking push for gun control. The fact that he said that it was so that like law enforcement can get more money makes this a little bit more interesting. We've identified the leader of the Discord group where U.S. top secret documents were leaked is a 21-year-old member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, specifically its intelligence wing, gift link, no paywall. Extraordinary teamwork here. Law enforcement outside the home of Airman's mother. Photo by Heather Rayleigh. A U.S. official has confirmed that the federal authorities have begun to search the home. Here's how they fucking grabbed him. The fuck was he doing? He was just reading a book? Like, guys, stop. I'm reading. A breakthrough in our investigation came when a team identified a Steam profile in Airman Texeria's name that led to an Instagram profile with photos of the exact location where leaked docs were photographed. A kitchen countertop in his childhood home. Photos of the leaked document with contrast enhanced. Photos of kitchen in Airman Texeria's home. Absolute shit, OPSEC. Yeah, kind of wild that this guy is an intelligence guy, okay? But, you know, Air National Guard intelligence is not the same, I guess, as Air Force intelligence, or not the same as Navy intelligence. You got VAC banned IRL. Yeah, true. Some people leak classified intelligence because they see something that's happening that they find to be disastrous. Some of those people are in this chat right now. They go to prison for that crime, which should not be a crime. Others just do it because they want a bunch of fucking teenagers to think they're cool in a Discord server that was a splinter Discord server that they created off of the original Discord server of a gun YouTuber, and probably like the 700,000th largest gun YouTuber, not even like a big one. You know what I mean? This is what happens when you want a fucking Discord kitten, and then in order to get that, you leak classified intelligence. Yeah, no, I'm saying, I know, you kind of glazed over it, but he got upset his Discord members weren't reacting hard enough to his detailed write-up, so we just started posting direct photos. Now, of course, as far as Discord leaks goes, this is unironically not even in the top 10 funniest ways that classified intelligence has been leaked. My favorite personally is to win arguments in War Thunder forums. I personally think that that is a way better reason. Some other classified intelligence leaks have come from, I don't know, nuclear bases in the Netherlands using fucking flashcard websites that they upload nuclear launch codes to in order to memorize the nuclear launch codes. You know, putting it on fucking Quizlet. Yeah, for the entire world to see. Another funny one is when you are in a secret military base and you use a Fitbit to keep running around the military base every morning, and it's not even private but actually public. So then people realize, oh my God, it was Strava, not Fitbit. Oh my God, there is a military base here. Here's the CIA analyst who found him at his location. Yeah, it was MHUD. It was MHUD and Geo Rainbolt together in collaboration. Yes, very nice. That's granite. Granite countertop. 35% marble. Nice. I'll take that. Nice. The documents were another lesson for younger members in how OG thought the world really worked. The members said OG wasn't hostile to the U.S. government, and he insisted that he was not working on behalf of any other country's interests. He's not a Russian operative. He's not a Ukrainian operative, the member said. The room on the server where he posted documents was called Bear versus Pig, meant to be a snide jab at Russia and Ukraine, an indication that OG took no sides in the conflict. Wait, what? They're calling Russia bear and they're calling Ukraine pig. It doesn't seem like he is taking no sides in that. Bear is common for Russia. Play Tarkov once you dweeb. No, I know bear is common for Russia. I didn't know that pig was common for Ukraine, though. Doesn't really seem that nice. Pig as Ukraine is a poll meme? Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Top minds of the generation. Pig is common for Ukraine because Ukrainians love eating pig fat called salo. It's a Russian meme. Yeah, I'm just saying that it seems like even the meme itself favors Russia, it seems. That was my point. And in the United States of America, far-right weirdos love Russia for some weird fucking reason that I personally don't understand. It's the same principle behind like Redditors keep calling every Russian orc. But OG had a dark view of the government. The young member said he spoke of the United States, and particularly law enforcement and the intelligence community, as a sinister force that sought to suppress the citizens and keep them in the dark. He ranted about government overreach. Late last year, a peeved OG fired off a message to all members of the server. He had spent nearly an hour every day writing up these long and drawn-out posts in which he'd often add annotations and explanations for stuff that we normal citizens would not understand, the member said. His would-be pupils were more interested in YouTube videos about battle gear. He got upset and he said on multiple occasions, if you guys aren't going to interact with them, I'm going to stop sending them. That's when OG changed tactics. Rather than spend his time copying documents by keyboard, he took photographs and genuine articles and dropped them in the server. These were more vivid and arresting documents than the plain text renderings. Some featured detailed charts of battlefield conditions in Ukraine and highly classified satellite images of the aftermath of Russian missile strikes on Ukrainian electrical facilities. Others sketched the potential trajectory of North Korean ballistic nuclear missiles that could reach the United States. Oh, that's so awesome. Another featured photographs of the Chinese spy balloon that floated across the country in February, snapped from eye level, probably by a U-2 spy plane, along with a diagram of the balloon and the surveillance technology attached to it. Classic. Oh, wow. I'm so shocked that they knew about all of that while it was happening. Even though OG might not have been anyone's agent, about half the members of his server were located overseas, including in Russia and Ukraine, 2 young members of the server told the Post. One thing the members were not supposed to do was talk about the secret OG share with them, including the classified documents. Most people in the server were smart enough as to kind of realize that they shouldn't be posted anywhere else, the member said, and yet the group contained foreign citizens, including from Russia and Ukraine, the member said, a defiance of the no foreign warning printed across the top of so many documents OG shared. Key suspect in classified leak went by Jack the Dripper on Discord. Oh, God, I love that. There is no way he hasn't been banned in this chat. Oh, 1,000,000%. Like, this guy, his age, his demographics, his interests, 1,000,000%. If someone were to find his Twitch username, I would love to know what his Twitch username is. Great story overall. Big fan overall of the story. OG is not a whistleblower, the boy told the Post. In recent days, even as the FBI hunted for him, he started a new server to keep talking to a small group of online friends. He told them to delete any classified documents he had. His brother did not realize he was going to fucking jail, I think. Or maybe he was just doing a drip feed of classified intelligence deliberately, and that's the reason why he doesn't think he's going to go to jail. There are videos of the dude that the Guardian saw where he's shouting anti-Semitic stuff. Yeah, I know. And said the N-word while shooting a gun. Yeah. It's just interesting that Bellingcat, which may or may not be linked to the State Department, even though they do feature some great journalists there, I will admit, sometimes, was able to find the story as soon as it hit a leftist Discord server. I wonder how that happened. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. They didn't know about it when it was on the Thug Shaker Central. They didn't know about it when it was on other Discord servers. But they very quickly seized it because they were the ones who found it first. How does someone from the National Guard find that the Buffalo shooting was known beforehand? Seems a little too weird. I mean, how does he have classified CIA information? He's in intelligence. There's no such thing as former intelligence, even though he was Air Force National Guard. So I would suspect that their level of clearance would be like way lower. I don't think he actually knew shit about the Buffalo shooting though. Yeah, probably not. He had low clearance, but access to a computer with lots of shit. You don't have that kind of info even for secret level of clearance. He had top secret. He had access, as we know, to quite literally a top secret level intelligence. He did not have the clearance for it, but he definitely had access to it, as we saw. TSSCI clearance works on a need-to-know basis, so either the security is shit and he could access stuff he shouldn't. I don't know how he got it. Exactly. I don't think this guy is, a brilliant hacker. Everyone with top secret SCI is also read into different programs, so you have access to a lot of random stuff because it's been previously identified as having relevance to your job. So depending on your specific job, you can have access to lots of things. MTG is pro Thug Shaker Central. Jake Texera is a white male Christian and anti-war. That makes him an enemy to the Biden regime. And he told the truth about troops being on the ground in Ukraine and a lot more. Ask yourself, who is the real enemy? A young low-level National Guardsman or the administration that is waging war in Ukraine, a non-NATO nation, against nuclear Russia without war powers? He had access to International Defense Department computer network for top secret information called the Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communication System. That access would have allowed him the ability to read and potentially print documents classified at the same level as many of the leaked files. One thing I don't understand about this entire fucking story is like why all of these interconnected systems are so easily accessible by random low-level National Guard reserves. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. Your NatSec chatters scare me sometimes. What do you mean? This community is its demographic makeup and interests, regardless of its ideological position, is very similar to what we're reading right now. In a different timeline, this is the same thing happening in this fucking community. There are plenty of people who work in similar fields or at least have a decent understanding of OPSEC, information security. Also, on top of that, a bunch of fucking probably federal agents. So, yeah. If anything, it says more that people are distrusting of the government and leaking shit to bring light to it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with leaking like this. I think it's good overall. I literally could not care less. I like it. Don't do it, obviously. Cover your own ass. Don't do that. Big no-no. Don't use my Discord server to do that, please. Hey, chill out. Who do you work for? I am, of course, paid by the State Department. Radio Free Hassan. Speaking of conservative inconsistencies, Cat Turd says, I consider anyone who exposes the lies and corruption of our government a hero. Cat Turd, of course, on friend of the show, Chelsea Manning, had some different takes. Chelsea Manning is going back to jail saying she'd rather starve to death than testify about WikiLeaks. Good. I hope it's for 25 years. Very odd. Very interesting. It seems like there's a little bit of an inconsistency there. It's just like more, if Chelsea was like some fucking reactionary Nazi weirdo, I'm sure Cat Turd would love that. I mean, again, they are incredibly hypocritical. They're pathetic. They're fucking they're cry bullies. They're man babies. I don't know how to describe it. They're just like, they are everything that they fucking claim the opposing side is. They're the pedophiles that constantly yell that like everyone else is doing pedophilia, but when they're doing it, it's actually good and just and morally righteous because it's like child marriages or some fucking cult that is like ostensibly right wing that's doing it, so it's allowed. Yeah, all of their accusations are basically confessions. Okay, that's it.
And he has been allocated a public defender, but that court appearance happening as, of course, all the media flocking round the family members and the legal teams, firing questions, and so many questions there are of how this 21-year-old was able to access the level of sensitive documents that we actually saw. We know a little more about it.
That's his dad, bro. That's not him. His dad also works at the base, though. Or his stepdad, sorry. He has a stepdad and a stepbrother that also works at the same base. I believe his stepbrother might even have like a higher level of clearance as well. Yeah, I mean, listen, do I think this story is funny? Absolutely. I think it's great. Free my man. I don't give a fuck what his political perspective is, okay? He didn't do nothing wrong, okay? What did he do? He wanted to do some grooming on some Discord kittens, you know what I mean? In the right-wing kind of way, though. So, of course, the right is going to defend him. No matter what happens, they will defend him because, again, remember, it's okay when they do it, guys. It's okay when they do it. Now, his intentions are not, like, pure or just, obviously, but even then, leaking CIA operations and top secret CIA documents, I am not going to get mad at that.
He was listed as a member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, and we also have documents filed by the US government confirming that he has held top security clearance since 2021, and according to our CBS partners, he joined that US government department, the US Air National Guard, back in 2019. So
I'm sorry, dude. You're like a journeyman IT guy at a fucking military base. Mind-boggling to me that you have access to this level of data. Like, that's crazy. What the fuck is the military doing? The most powerful military on the goddamn planet, the most expensive military on the goddamn planet, owned by a dude that wants to do Discord memes. Like, literally, as an IT guy, man, I agree it's funny and I agree he shouldn't go to prison, but you don't think we should draw a line between leaks for journalistic and whistleblower purposes and leaks for winning Discord argument purposes? I think advocating for this weirdo undercuts activism for more serious leakers like Chelsea. Well, the reality is that, like, more serious leakers like Chelsea will probably be punished more severely, too. That is the other side of it. I think it's different, but ultimately, I don't think that, like, first of all, I don't even think deterrence or punishment is a good deterrence for crimes in general. This is before we even talk about whether or not this should be considered a crime at all. I don't think this is in any way, shape, or form similar to what Chelsea did, right? Clearly, I don't. But do I think that it's unintentional, intentional? Does it serve like a relatively decent purpose at the end of the day? I think so. The only issue I have is that if you don't redact certain aspects of the things that you're leaking, like, I think that there is some criminal components here, just not the ones that, like, the media or the government is focusing on. For example, when you leak information like this on a Discord server and it's, like, completely unvetted by a journalist or a third party that can, like, hide certain key parts of the information, you can potentially put innocent civilians at risk, right? I think that there is a reality to that. And that is something that could be punishable and should be punishable, as a matter of fact. The way that he leaked this information is what makes it punishable, because he's a fucking dumbass. But if he had done this by sending it to a fucking, instead of a Discord server, sending it to a fucking journalist, ultimately, that would be good. That would be not a bad thing. That would be a good thing. I am always going to be an advocate for leaking information about the government to journalists. I think, like, one of the worst aspects of this is that, like, we very quickly moved on from the leak and what the leaks pertained to, how this guy was arrested, why the government fucked up. Like, I want to know what the juice was. You know what I mean? I want to know what kind of information they had, what kind of intel they had on China. Like, they had a U-2 balloon, or a U-2 spy plane that literally took an aerial photo of the Chinese balloon. They had access to, like, literally what kind of photography that the Chinese balloon took. U.S. intelligences may change how they monitor social media chat rooms. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's like, it's going to get so much fucking worse for even you chatters. Ukraine war, leak shows Western special forces on the ground. That's crazy. Shocking. According to the document dated 23rd of March, the UK is the largest contingent of special forces in Ukraine with 50, followed by fellow NATO states Latvia 17, France 15, the US 14, and the Netherlands 1. The document does not say where the forces are located or what they're doing. The number of personnel may be small and will doubtlessly fluctuate, but special forces are, by their very nature, highly effective. Their presence in Ukraine is likely to be seized upon by Moscow, which has in recent months argued that it is not just confronting Ukraine, but NATO as well. That's weird. What are they doing in Ukraine, you guys think? What do you guys think the NATO forces are doing in Ukraine? I thought that was, like, not Article 5. So shocking to find that information out. I mean, I'm sure they're just hanging out. Per affidavit filed by the FBI agent Patrick Lukenhoff of the Washington Field Office Counterintelligence Division states, images in Teixeira's leaks appear to depict documents used to inform senior military and civilian government officials during the briefings of the Pentagon. A user Teixeira's server told the FBI that Teixeira began posting what appeared to be classified information around December 2022. Oh my God, he was posting for so long. And photographs of documents around January, the affidavit states. The FBI affidavit cites a specific document mentioned by the user to describe the status of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and was based on sensitive U.S. intelligence. The user interviewed by the FBI said Teixeira told him he worried about being discovered taking notes on the classified documents at work. So he began taking the documents home and photographing them. Oh my God. The user told the FBI, he just took it out, dude. That's awesome. And then they got his name from Discord records. Lol. Imagine thinking you're private on Discord. Lol. U.S. government logs show Teixeira accessed the Ukraine war document in February, one day before he posted to his friends on Discord. On Thursday, April 6th, log shows Teixeira used his work computer to search classified intelligence for the word leak. Yeah, he was very smart. Brilliant OPSEC on his behalf. Brilliant OPSEC on fucking... on behalf of the U.S. military. So glad that we give like $7 gorillion fucking dollars to the military every year. And then, you know, this is what they got. This is what they got going on. I love and respect that. I love that. At least we found that out about where our motherfucking tax dollars are going. You know what I mean? The New York Times working with the CIA front Bellingcat to find the leaker of the Pentagon files, then publicly gloating about it as they downplay the factual information contained in the leaks is just the latest proof of free and independent media being a pathetic joke. And the result of the media class applauds with glee and sees as a normal thing in the world. Oh, the New York Times just led a manhunt in collaboration with the CIA. Yeah, that left a bad taste in my mouth as well. I found that to be rather strange, rather odd. Why is the New York Times, like, I feel like, why would you ever go to the New York Times ever if you are a whistleblower, if you're going to go out and like literally unmask people who aren't whistleblowing, but still, you know, doing a similar principle or doing a similar act that whistleblowers engage in? Give them a Pulitzer. By the way, we are free and independent media. Imagine if a Russian media outlet worked with their security service to lead a manhunt for the leaker. That would be seen as the most evil thing in the world and proof that it's a totalitarian hellscape. But when the New York Times does it for the U.S. regime, it's brave and heroic journalism. It's hard to believe they actually proudly published this. It's like if Daniel Ellsberg wanted to hand them the Pentagon Papers and they immediately called the FBI and CIA to rat him out and then gloated about it. It's so incredibly bizarre, and it shows how depraved they are.
Then it's a question of, okay, where's the audit system to see why is he downloading this? Why is he printing that? And a lot of that is how they got to him, which is when was he working? What?
That is absolutely not how they got to him. This man is just straight up lying. No, they got to him from the other side, not from the side of like, if that's how they got to him, he'd already been tried in a fucking military court and we would have never heard about any of this. No, they got to him after the fact, okay? And we know about the story because they didn't do that. What do you mean? He's making it seem like, bro, he literally made it seem like, yeah, the military has like definitely checks in place to make sure that like if there's any kind of mishandling of classified information, you know, they do something about it. Dude, I'm not even scared. It's an action game. It's an action game. People are dumb. Oh God, he looks so scary. Ah! Ah! How do I run away? I'm doing a civil asset forfeiture here. Oh! Oh! Where mama at? Where mama at? Where mama at? Where mama?